Oh, hey yo, welcome back to Fatty's Level Hints, the show dedicated to helping you learn games good. And today I am bringing you the top soaker dinosaurs of 2020. Now, I'm going to bring you through a couple different layers of testings. First, we're just going to talk about the general stats of the different dinosaurs, time to adult, HP, stuff like that. Then we're going to go through damage with base turrets and auto turrets. And then we're going to talk about tech turrets and how much damage they do through there. And then we're going to kind of talk about all the results. And let's just jump into it. So before we jump into any of the dinosaurs, I just kind of want to explain the method of testing that I did for the entire thing. So first off, to learn things like the HP and time to raise, what I really did is just, I spawned 150s. I spawned up to 6 of them. Got the kind of the average HP and then just kind of rounded right about where most of them were coming in. As well, for the time to raise, on our server we have it at 40 times maturation. So I just took whatever time it was for any of these to raise and just multiplied it by 40 to get a pretty rough estimate of where they're at. As well as anything that had data online, I always looked up that as well. And then what I did is with the 150s, I went through and had the 3 different kind of turrets, from regular turret, advanced turret to tech turret, and had them just shooting just to calculate the amount of damage that they were going to do per shot. Doing that with a saddle and without a saddle, just so you can kind of see the variation of that. And as well as then, all of the saddles were just basic saddles, so they have 20 armor. So if you have something better, you can kind of multiply that out and kind of, figure out what that's going to be like for that dinosaur. But this just kind of generally gives you a really good idea about how they're going to perform compared to other dinosaurs and in certain situations as well. Now, I always hear an argument when I talk about soakers, about the saddles and stuff like that. So this isn't going to be an argument if, you have the best saddles or anything like that. This is just going to give you, the base numbers of everything so you can make the best decision for what you have available to you, what's in your area, as well as maybe what's easy for you to farm, get a hold of, anything like that. And let's just kind of go into the individual dinos and talk about HP and time to raise to adult. The 6 dinosaurs we're going to really talk about in this video just for the testing is going to be the space whale, rock golems, the giant turtle, magmasaurs, gasbags, and tech trikes. The reason why I chose these are just kind of really common ones, and I just wanted to throw the tech trike in there just to kind of show a comparison to more of those vanilla dinosaurs, not those harder, more difficult ones to get, but just more comparison to, Trike, Stego, stuff like that. So very first off, we're going to talk about the whale. The whale is going to be one of the highest HP, coming in about 1500 as a rough estimate of what you're going to get out of 150. When you look at rock golems, those are going to be about the same, about 1500 as well. Turtles are going to be coming in at 3rd place with about 1200 HP. Then we have magmasaurs behind that at about 10k HP on average, at again 150. Gasbags are going to be about 5k HP on average, as well as trikes are going to come in about 3500. Now, those are not too hugely different. The whales and the rock golems obviously have quite a bit more than, gasbags and trikes and stuff like that. But really, the turtles, the rock golems, the whales, the magmasaurs, all of those are going to be really similar and not going to be too different in the manner of just the amount of HP that they can have. Now, the other stat I kind of want to do before we go into the actual just how much damage they take per turret is kind of talk about the time to raise to adult. So obviously the whales and the rock golems can't be bred or raised up, anything like that. So we're talking about the fastest ones to raise. That's going to be coming in at the tech trikes. Now it's going to be about 1 day and 22 hours said and done from hatching to adult. We're going to talk about gasbags. We're looking at about 3 days and 20 hours. Now, this is going to be for official rates, just that base stat. For me, when I was doing some of those, my server's on about 40 rate for raising. And that only took trikes only took about an hour. Gasbags only took I think it was 2.5 hours, something like that. And then when you're looking at the magmasaur, which is going to be the next one coming in at 6 days and 7 hours, as well as the turtle is going to be at about that time range. And on our server, it was only about 4 hours. So what I did is I just raised each one of these, took about the time, and then just multiplied it by the 40 rate to kind of get that time estimate. So there's a lot to think about with those stats alone. So next, what we're going to do is look at the footage for individual damage done by the regular turret, advanced turret, and the tech turret, just to see what each one of these are going to be doing when held under fire. So the first dinosaur we're going to look at is going to be the space whale. Now we're going to show the footage of the test with the saddle and without the saddle as well. So starting off without the saddle, it's going to be taken per shot from the normal turret about 118 damage per bullet. With the advanced turret, that bumps up quite an extensive amount to 462 per shot. as well as with the tech turret, it's actually going to go back way down to 187. So one thing to notice too is that it does quite a bit less damage when it comes to the tech turret. So like the rock golem, which we're going to talk about next, it's kind of like the reverse to that, where the rock golem takes a lot less from regular bullets but more from turrets. This seems to take not more from turrets, but takes a decent amount from turrets and then does less on the tech side, and that is also without the saddle. So when we flip that over and start looking at the stats from with the saddle attached, the regular turret's going to be about 42 damage per bullet, advanced turret's going to be at 168, and then the tech is going to be at 66. Now, with the splash damage on that one, it's not always consistent. I wasn't always getting it, but with the saddle, it was getting about 84 and without 123, so that didn't make a huge difference. Sometimes that number was a little bit different. I don't understand quite how what affects that, but that's where the whale's going to be at. Very good. And then the rock golem is going to be the one that we're looking at next. Before the rock golem. So with the saddle, I've noticed several different things. With the whale, when you had the saddle on, it was taking a reduction about 2.75 times damage. So as a reduction, so it was doing 2.75 damage less. Not all saddles were doing the same, so they're all base level. Like this one is a little bit different because it's a tech saddle, but it's also not the best one when I was looking at it. So it seems like a range. It seems like at very least what you're going to get is about a 1.8 times damage reduction from different saddles, and then the most, which I'll get to at the very end of the video, is going to be 5.75 damage 5.75 damage reduction as well, which is an incredible amount. But yeah, so the saddles don't seem to all just be like, if you have 20 armor, it's going to be dropping down this much. So I'm just going to keep you guys aware of that and let you know with each dinosaur that we talk about what damage reduction it's going to actually take and what that percentage is going to look like. So when we go talk about the rock golems, when we're looking at the damage from a regular turret without the saddle, we're going to be doing 11 per shot. When we talk about the advanced turret, it's going to be about 46 per bullet. And then with the tech turret, it's going to be about 750. So it absolutely gets just shredded with tech turrets. I know a lot of people know that's not a new thing, but the amount more that it takes is just ridiculous, as well as the amount less that it takes from regular bullets. It definitely by far takes the least amount of damage from any dinosaur when it comes to regular turrets as well. So on the flip side, with the saddle, we're going to talk about 5 damage per regular bullet, 23 per advanced turret bullet, as well as 375 per tech bullet. So again, it gets shredded by that tech. It's kind of insane. So when you look at the stats, it's going to be dropping down about 2.2% damage. So a little bit less defense, with the saddle on than the whale, but definitely not by any means the very least. Coming in and with the other newer ones too is going to be the turtle. So again, without the saddle, we're looking at 260 per turret shot to the turtle, and then with the advanced turret we're looking at 1016, which is incredible. Like that's a ton of damage that it takes from those advanced turrets, and then 750 damage with the tech. Now something interesting with the turtle is that I never got a single splash damage with any of the testing that I did for the tech turret, so that's just something to kind of keep in mind. But it does take quite a bit. It takes the same amount as the rock golem does from tech. So just again, it's kind of along the same lines as the rock golem, just getting shredded by tech turrets. So then we're looking on the other side of regular turrets. You're taking about 144 per normal turret shot, 564 for the advanced turret, and 416 from the tech turret. So really just taking a ton of damage from all the turrets. Doesn't have the highest HP, so really just not one of the best options in my opinion. And then when we're looking at the damage reduction from the saddle, we're talking about a 1.8. So on that kind of scale I was talking about from all my testing, how much damage that they will do, or the damage reduction per saddle, it's going to be on the lowest side of that as well. So it just kind of doesn't make the turtle one of the most viable options in my opinion. Now for the last new dinosaur that people are kind of talking about, the soakers, is going to be the Magnus, which is the lowest HP of the big three from the new update. So when we're talking about turret damage, we're looking at about 118 from the tech turret, or the normal turret, which is about the same as the whale. The advanced turret is taking 462, again about the same as the whale, and then with the tech turret it's going to take 450. So a lot less than it takes from tech from the turtle and the rock. but definitely takes more damage than the whale will take with that kind of damage. Then we're talking about with the saddle, we're looking at 59 for the normal turret, 231 for the advanced turret, and then 225 for the tech. So again, with the Magnosaur saddle, it's not going to be as defensible as the whale saddle. It's only going to give you about a 2 times damage reduction, where the whale again is about 2.75. So a little bit better there. Again, it has more HP, the whale does, than the Magnosaur, but it's a more well-rounded one, right? It doesn't take too much from the tech, and it doesn't take too much for turrets. So, you know, the whale is definitely a good one for if someone has only tech one, that's going to be your go-to. And like, you know, if someone only has regular turrets, the rock golem's going to be your go-to. So this one's kind of like a middle balance. You know, it's not going to be bad if it's going to be a person who's got a good mixture of different turrets. So just something to keep in mind. Now going on to the Gasbag. So when you're talking about turret damage, you're looking at the normal turret's going to be doing about 23. And now I got pretty consistent with the normal turret at 23. And when I started doing the testing for the advanced turret, I was getting kind of a range. And I don't fully understand how that works. Like, I know with the oxygen and stuff, so the Gasbag had full oxygen, but it was taken somewhere, sometimes I was seeing 462 all the way down to like 283. When it came to the tech, it was doing very more consistent again, like the normal turret at about 450. Now, when I put the saddle on, this is what, in my opinion, was like the most surprising thing that I found of all the stats, is that the damage dropped down to 11 with regular turrets, and then again, got this kind of weird range for the advanced turret, which is going to be between 238, which is pretty close to what the other one's doing without the saddle, but then dropped down to 64 too, which is crazy low. So the advanced turret does some kind of weird things with the Gasbag. And then with the tech turret, it was only doing 45 damage, which is insane. It is literally the lowest damage that anything took with the saddle on from the tech turret. You know, even the whale was only doing 66, this is 45. Now granted, it has, you know, a third of the HP, but it still was taking less damage, which is something you always really want to consider when you're looking at these kind of different stats. And then we're going to move on to the final one, which is going to be the tech trike. Now the tech trike without the saddle was taking 118, which is the same thing the Magnosaur and the whale were taking. 462, again on par with the advanced turret for those two as well, and then 450. So basically all the same stats as the Magnosaur without the saddle. Now with the saddle, we're looking at about taking 65 from the regular turret, 256 from the advanced turret, and 250 from the tech turret. Now when you look at these stats, they're actually going to be a little bit more taking more damage than the Magnosaur. So that saddle bonus is only going to be 1.8 damage reduction. So again, the very lowest that you can kind of get when I was looking at all these stats. But again, and then the Trike also has only 35k HP, so the lowest HP of all of them, but also the fastest to raise. So, you know, that's always something you want to consider. And, you know, now that we kind of talked about all the damage these things will take and stuff, we'll jump into the results, and I'll kind of give you my breakdown for which one I would personally recommend for you guys. Okay, so I just threw a ton of information at you guys, so I really want to break this down. I'm going to show you my top 3 picks for just the best ones that you can use for 2020, as well as the best ones for certain situations, because I think that is where all this information is going to be best utilized for you. So off the bat, I would say my number 3 pick for the best one would just be the Magnosaur. They're a little bit more difficult to get because you have to go get the eggs and stuff, but if you get, 2 really high level ones, especially if you get 150, they're not the most difficult to breed. There's a lot of lava spots that you can put them in and get the eggs, and, you know, getting their food is not the most difficult to raise them up, so you can kind of get these guys going and get a decent amount of them, and they're going to be really good for just general situations. You know, they're not going to be the best soaker for any one situation, but if you got a mixed situation, they're actually going to be a very viable option for you as well. Now, going on past that, I would have to say my second go-to would be the Space Whale. You know, looking at all the general stats, it actually is a pretty solid soaker. You know, with the amount of HP you have, as well as just the general doesn't take a lot from the other turrets compared to, the advanced turrets and regular turrets compared to all the other ones we covered. It's right on par, not amazing compared to it, but not bad, as well as though the amount that it takes from tech. So that, I think, is what really does it for me, is because tech turrets are always one of the more difficult ones to handle. So that will take a lot less from that, as well as not taking more than anything else would from regular turrets, which kind of gives it that nice like second ground feel. Now, in my opinion, the very best Soaker Dinosaur that you can use with, talking about all the different stats with HP, talking about the saddle bonus as well, just time to raise and ease of actually taming them. My number one pick is easily going to go to the Gasbag. It doesn't have the most HP by any means, but you can pump them full of HP and oxygen to help them soak a little bit more. They're really easy to raise. You can get one going in almost a third of the time a lot of the other dinosaurs can raise up. Saddles are easy to make too. They're not that difficult to find a higher level one, and if you get a blueprint, then you're just incredibly set. Like I said, raising them is easy, taming them is easy, and they just do amazing. Like I said, the very least amount of damage taken from tech is amazing, as well as some of the least amount of damage from other bullets as well. So it makes a very simple choice for me. They can fly as well, so if you have a base that's up on a pillar, one thing I like to do is just fill like a little box on the back of a Quetzal and either suicide bomb the Quetzal and just let it die and then have all the gas bags kind of fall off, or you just whistle somebody with nothing on them, get on one gas bag, have all the gas bags follow, and then just kind of fall on top of a base. It works great. It's just a lot of fun. So that one's going to be the best one for those situations. Now, other situations, if you see a base that has absolutely no tech turrets, use a rock golem. They're not that difficult to tame. I have a solo taming guide on my channel, so go check that out as well. You can go tame them up and then just use a couple of them, and they're going to just drain those regular turrets like no one's business. Another really good one would be the Trikes. They're really cheap, or not cheap, but cheap saddles, easy to raise, easy to tame, and you can get them just going. So you can get an army of those almost a lot faster than you can even tame some of these other ones. So I really like that option. Just a really good basic one to use. So yeah. I know there's a lot of information to take in. Thanks for sticking with me to this long through the video. If you guys think that there's any other dinosaurs you want me to go through and put through this testing scenario, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out our server. We're getting a lot more people. We're trying to get enough people to start doing events and do big raids and admin raid, come raid the admin, stuff like that. So come join us, help us be a part of that community, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.